Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned in to How I See It TV, and this is How I See It. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. So, y'all, the drama between Kenya Moore and Britt Eady and the fallout from what Kenya did at her salon opening seems like it's heating up. More information is being released. You have people like Ming Lee, who's being thrown into the conversation. They're saying that Ming Lee might have been the one that gave Kenya the explicit pictures of Britt Eady. But what I want to focus on right now is Watch What Happens Live and what Andy Cohen said when he asked Britt if there's anything more that she would like to say regarding her bringing up pistols and whips at the bank, which really started this whole thing. Britt, put on her best remorseful voice. She apologized again. She explained why she said what she said. But then what was really interesting was Andy Cohen saying that Bravo conducted an investigation. I don't know if it's Bravo or the production, but I'm going to say both. Conducted an investigation because in the housewives' contracts, it is said that, well, according to Andy Cohen, in their contracts, no one is supposed to have weapons on set. And so he said that they conducted an investigation and they found that Britt nor her husband had any weapons on the set. But my thing is, was this investigation done that very night on set? Did Kenya report this immediately while the camera crew and everybody was still at the bank? And did they shut down the set and say, hey, we're going to check cars, we're going to pat down bodies, we're going to check purses? Because listen, if I am Britt Eady and I go home and 3 days later y'all are calling me and they're like, hey, a matter was reported. There was threats of, pow violence against another cast member. So we just want to know if you had any weapons on you, because as you know, per your contract, you're not supposed to have any weapons on set. Now, if I was Britt Eady, I'm going to say absolutely not. My husband nor myself had any weapons on the set. What else is the production going to do? What else is Bravo Network going to do? What else is HR going to do if this woman says she didn't have a weapon? It's not like they can roll through the cameras and see, footage. It's not like they can go through the footage and see whether or not she had a weapon on her or not. The only way they could know for sure is if they had checked the cars that night, or they had checked her purse that night, or they had checked her husband that night. And this is the same woman who's heard in other interviews saying that she always has her pow on her. Even in the Watch What Happens Live episode, she talked about how, it wasn't a very safe neighborhood. It was a rough neighborhood that they were in. And she's used to having her husband by her side when she goes out and all of that. It's like, I wish Andy hadn't said that, because now I'm just asking more questions now. Because if you ask this lady 2 days later if she had a pow on her, and she knows as per her contract that she shouldn't have weapons on the set, of course she's going to say no. So I would like to know for myself how Bravo or Truly Original or whoever the powers that be were that conducted this supposed investigation, how did you all carry out the investigation? Because maybe this is what triggered Kenya into wanting to get her lick back this way. Because y'all probably called her back and said, hey, we conducted an investigation. We asked Britt if she had a weapon on her. She said no. And Kenya was probably like, oh, y'all, are you guys my effing kidding me? Of course she's going to say no, she didn't have a weapon on her. And they're like, well, the case is closed. She said she didn't have a weapon on her. So there's nothing else we can do. And Kenya probably said, well, if that's all y'all gonna do, well, I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna show her how you're not about to threaten me and get away with it. I'm thinking that's probably how it went down. And now you have Claudia Jordan, who is hopping into the fight. But my thing is, Claudia, I get it. Kenya is your girl. She's your friend. You're trying to stand 10 toes down for her. But Kenya was wrong. She was still wrong. Britt was wrong and Kenya was wrong. And the two of them should have been suspended from the show. But that didn't happen. But you cannot sit on Carlos King's, YouTube and act like Kenya didn't do anything wrong. Claudia, I'm sorry. But I'm going to let y'all hear what Claudia had to say about Britt. Like, she was reading Britt Eady down, child.
So before you get all panties in a bunch, Britt, I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto energy. I can't take your very nasally sounding nose, the way you talk. It's just like, whoever did that, please open up those nasal passages. It's too much. Like, it's like, how does your husband's a saint? I don't like you anymore. The way you bucked up, how we are protecting Angela Oakley and all costs, by all means. Okay. The way Angela didn't even ask me anything that was negative or mean. She said, I'm a broker too. Like, how does that happen? And I did my research. Well, a little bit of research. There's a LinkedIn page for Britt and her company that she was doing her insurance stuff with, right? And I contacted a real estate agent and also someone that is in the mortgage brokerage business, Britt Eady. According to her LinkedIn page, she was with Allstate full time, and that was from January of 2020 to April of 2023, 3 years and 4 months. So it says that she's been done doing it. So I don't know if she lost her license from this incident or she just, I don't know. And I also talked to someone that said, I said, so can you lose your license is there like clauses for personal behavior and all that kind of stuff? Like, what do they call those?
Morality clauses.
Morality clauses.
And my friend that did my loan said, no, there are strippers that do all kinds of OnlyFans, all that kind of stuff that have these licenses that they don't lose their jobs. So that is bullshit. They said she would lose her license for financial crimes, fraud, things of that matter. Not if, and think how fast it's happened, right? We are all just seeing the episode now. This happened when it happened. So you mean to tell me between that the Kenya Moore hair care event and then a month later your company knew about this big scandal that was at a private event and you lost your license? I think she's playing the victim card extra hard now. Like, she sees an opening, she tried to come for the queen in her mind. That didn't really pan out the way she thought. She got read down and made to look like erratic. So now let me play this victim card thing. And do you see how her mother was looking at it when she was telling her story? Her mother was looking at like, then at the end, she realized, oh, I'm on TV. That girl, because you're pretty. And, they hate on you because you're pretty, girl. But I look at her mother's face. Go back. Her mother was like, here we go again. That's what I got. That's what I got from that. But
shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for capturing that clip. And Claudia, I'm with you as it relates to protecting Miss Angela Oakley, because Angela didn't do anything wrong in that scene when she was asking Britt, how she ended up losing her insurance license over some rumors. But at the end of the day, Claudia, you can't sit there and act like Kenya did nothing wrong. Kenya played her cards wrong in this entire thing. Kenya, you should have put on your best white woman Karen act. If the production wasn't going to do anything about it, you should have gone down to the nearest Atlanta PD, reported Britt's threat, have them investigate it. It would have been on camera that she said what she said, and then file a restraining order that would have probably prevented Britt from filming with you and several other members of the cast. I keep saying, Kenya, I feel like the girls would have been on your side. You took it too low. And Claudia, you can't sit up there because you got all this dislike for Britt and act like Kenya didn't do something wrong. She did something wrong. And then finding out that possibly that particular picture that Kenya had blown up was perhaps an underage Britt, I don't know. It don't sit right with me. And I'm not a fan of Britt at all. But what Kenya did, it just doesn't sit right with me. And that's just how I see it. So y'all drop down in the comment section below and let me know how you see things too. Are you team Britt? Are you team Kenya? Do you feel like Bravo or Truly Original conducted a thorough investigation into Britt Eady's pow threats against Kenya? Do you feel like Kenya was absolutely wrong and Britt is actually the victim? Because that's a question that's out there right now. Who's the real villain in this entire situation? Is it Britt or is it Kenya? Who do y'all think? Until my next video, please remember to like this one, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Walk good. Bye.